friends. Hello friends. Today we are going to study our first lesson, matter in our surrounding. Before proceeding in details, we will see what is matter. Everything in the universe is made up of material which scientists have named as matter. The air we breathe, the food we eat, stones, clouds, stars, planets, even a small drop of water is termed as matter. Matter is nothing, it is anything that occupies space and has mass. Example chalk, board, any living or non living thing is the example of matter. Now, early Indian philosophers classified in the form of five basic elements as air, earth, fire, sky, and water called Panchatattva. On the basis of the physical state, matter is classified as solids, liquids, and gases. On the basis of chemical composition, matter is classified as pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances means all the elements and compounds, and mixtures means homogeneous, that is uniform mixture, or the heterogeneous mixtures. Now we will study about the physical nature of matter. Matter is made up of particles. First, second, particles of matter are very tiny. Third, the particles of matter have space between them. Fourth, the particles of matter are continuously moving. Fifth, the particles of matter attract each other. Now we will consider the first case. Matter is made up of particles. Here we will do a very small activity. You have to take a small glass beaker. Take some water in a beaker and note its level. Just add 1 tablespoon of salt or 1 tablespoon of sugar in the water. Stir the water with the help of a glass rod. Let the water level becomes stable. Now see the difference between the water level previously and now. It is same because particles of water get into the spaces between the particles of water. This shows that matter is made up of particle. Second, the particles of matter are very tiny. Here they have given us a small activity. First, dissolve 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate in 100 ml of water in a beaker. Take 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in 100 ml of water. And dissolve in 100 ml of water. Take 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in 100 ml of water. Repeat this process 5 to 6 times. This shows that a few crystals of potassium permanganate can color a large volume of water because there are millions of tiny particles in each crystal. You can also consider another example, that is, just take 2 ml of Dettol instead of potassium permanganate. The smell can be detected even on repeated dilution because the particles of matter are very tiny. They dissolve completely in water. Now the third characteristic, the particles of matter have space between them. We know that the particles of sugar, salt, Dettol, or potassium permanganate get evenly distributed in water. Similarly, while making tea, coffee, or lemonade, particles of one type of matter get into spaces of the particles of the other. This shows that there is enough space between the particles of matter. Let's perform a small activity. Take some water in a beaker and note its level. Again dissolve some salt or sugar in it with the help of a glass rod. The salt dissolves in the water level, but the water level does not change. This is because the particles of salt get into the spaces of water. Next, particles of matter are continuously moving. For this, we will do one small experiment or small activity. Take some water in a beaker and put a drop of blue or red color ink. The ink spreads slowly along the sides of the beaker. Leave it undisturbed for few hours. The ink spreads evenly throughout the water due to the movement of the particles of water and ink. The intermixing of two or more different types of matter on their own is called as diffusion. Here you can consider another example, unlit and incense stick. What you will see, you will feel the smell of the incense stick in the other corner of the room. Also, it means that particles of matter are in random motion, they are free to move. Next, particles of matter attract each other. Here, in order to prove it, we will perform a small activity. Take an iron nail or a piece of chalk or rubber band. Try breaking them by hammering, cutting, or stretching. It is more easier to break the chalk, less easier to break the rubber band, and difficult to break the iron nail. This is because the particles in the iron nail are held together with greater force than in the rubber band or chalk. Have you got all these properties? Okay, fine. Now let's move to next topic, that states of matter. We can see that matter around us exists in three states: solid, liquid, and gas. These states of matter arise due to the variation in the characteristics of particles of matter. First, we will study about solids. Solids have definite shapes and definite volume. The space between the particle is minimum. The force of attraction between the particles is maximum. The movement of the particle is minimum. They are least compressible, and the rate of diffusion is least. All these are the properties of solid. Here you can give any example of solid, that is book, needle, wooden stick, pen, etc. In solids, particles are very closely attached to each other. You can see it in figure. Okay. Now let's study about the properties of liquids. Liquids do not have definite shape, but they have definite volume. Liquid always takes the shape of the container in which they are poured. The space between the particles is intermediate, means they are not as tightly bound or tightly attached as compared to the solids. They are loosely attached to each other. The force of attraction between the particles is intermediate, and also the movement. Liquids are very less compressible, and the rate of diffusion is more than solids in liquids. Okay, now next move to the next gases. Gases have no definite shape or fixed volume but occupy the space of the container. The space between the particles is maximum. The force of attraction between the particles is minimum. The movement of the particles is maximum. Gases are very highly compressible. Here you can take the example of LPG, that is liquefied petroleum gas, which is filled in the cylinder. After compressing this gas, it is filled in a cylinder. The rate of diffusion is also more than solids and liquids in gases. Here you can give example of incense stick or any other substance which has gaseous state. Now let's study about the effects of change of temperature. On increasing the temperature of solids, the kinetic energy of the particle increases. Due to this increase in kinetic energy, particles start vibrating with greater speed. The energy supplied by heat overcomes the force of attraction between the particles, and the particles leave their fixed position and start moving freely. In this, on increasing the temperature, solid converts into liquid and liquid gets converted into gases. The change in the state happens due to the change in the kinetic energy and vibration of the particles of matter. The effects of pressure on gases. When pressure is applied on gas, the particles come closer and the gas change into liquid. We can liquefy gases by applying pressure and also reducing the temperature. Here we can change gas into liquid, and also liquid can be converted into solids. Compressed solid carbon dioxide, which is called as dry ice, can be prepared by reducing the pressure on vapors of water. If the pressure is reduced, it changes directly to gas without coming into liquid state. So, solid carbon dioxide is known as dry ice. When a solid is heated, the particles begin to vibrate with greater speed and begin to move more freely. The temperature at which solid melts. The temperature at which solid melts is called its melting point, and the amount of heat energy required to change the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kg of a solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is called the latent heat of fusion. When a liquid is heated, its particles begin to move even faster than at a particular temperature. The liquid begins to boil. Means if you heat the water, after some seconds it starts to boil. This temperature at which liquid begins to boil is termed as a boiling point. Boiling is a bulk phenomenon. When a liquid boils, the bulk of the liquid changes into vapor. And what is latent heat of vaporization? It is related with boiling. The amount of heat required to change 1 kg of a liquid into gas at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point is called latent heat of vaporization. When solid gets converted into liquid, the temperature is termed as melting point, and the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid at its atmospheric pressure is termed as latent heat of fusion. And when liquid starts to boil, the temperature is termed as boiling point, and the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kg of liquid into the gas at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point is called the latent heat of vaporization. Now, let's see what is evaporation. Evaporation is a phenomenon of change of liquid into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. In the process of evaporation, liquid gets converted into gas. If you give heat to water, it gets converted into vapors, means evaporation process has happened. And if gases gets converted into liquid, then the process is termed as a condensation process. See, here all the three states are given: solid, liquid and gases. When we give temperature to solid, it gets converted into liquid, and if we give temperature to liquid, it gets converted into gas. And if we reduce the temperature of gas, it gets converted into liquid, and if we reduce the temperature of liquid, it gets converted into gas. Means the change of solid to liquid, the change of solid to liquid is melting, and the change liquid to solid is composition. The change of liquid to gas is evaporation, and the change of gas to liquid is condensation. The change of solid to gas is sublimation. Here you can take the example of a camphor or naphthalene ball. When it is given heat or it is subjected to heat, at that time naphthalene ball or ammonium sulfate or camphor gets converted into gas. This is the example of sublimation process. And if you reduce, and if gas changes into solid, then the process is So here we have studied all the changes. Okay, again I am revising. When solid gets converted into gas, it is sublimation. When gas gets converted into solid, it is deposition. When solid gets converted into liquid, it is fusion. And when liquid gets converted into solid, it is solidification. If liquid gets converted into gas, it is vaporization. And if gas gets converted into liquid, it is condensation. Now let's revise what we have studied in this lesson. We have studied that matter is made up of small particles. Matter exists in three states: solids, liquids and gas. The force of attraction between the particles are maximum in solid, intermediate in liquids and minimum in gases. Solid. The spaces in between the constituent particles and kinetic energy of the particles are minimum in the case of solids, intermediate in liquids and maximum in gas. The most order arrangement of particles is found in solids. In the case of liquids, layers of particles can slip. Example, oil, honey. And there is no order. Particles move randomly or they are free to move in gases. The states of matter are interconvertible. Sublimation is a change of solid state directly to gaseous state without intermediate liquid state. Deposition is a change of gaseous state directly to solid state without the intermediate liquid state. Boiling is a bulk phenomenon. Particles from the bulk or the whole of the liquid change into vapor state. Evaporation is the change of liquid into gas. The rate of evaporation depends on atmospheric phenomena like temperature, wind, humidity. Latent heat of vaporization is the heat energy required to change 1 kg of a liquid to gas at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point. And last, the latent heat of fusion is the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid at its melting point. So here we have discussed our first lesson, matter in our surrounding. In it we have studied what is matter, how it is characterized physically, chemically, and here we have seen some examples. If you have any problem, then please tell me. Okay, bye. Have a nice day, students. Bye.